One of the motivating factors of starting this channel was of course to break the clutter of how most film discourse was being dictated by those associated with mainstream news channels. But another big motivating factor for me to actually keep on pursuing producing content is that I'm just a huge fan of movies. This naturally leads to me having my favorites, and I form this idea of them in my head. Sadly, the more time you spend in Mumbai, the more opportunities you get in interacting with several artists, you realize your idea of people is largely divorced from how they are in real life. There is nothing more heartbreaking than this rosy and ideal image of your favorite stars being all just a farce. And for the most part, people just, well, they're not really cool. Most people are kind of. This is what you largely get accustomed to. The reason why I reference all of this is because the purpose of this video is to tell you my experiences with mostly Hindi cinema celebrities so that it can act as a cautionary tale or just a preparation for anyone who is planning to pursue a career in film journalism. Everyone ain't all that bad, but one should just have zero expectations. It just leads to never being disappointed. Trust me, when I put my hopes up for an interaction to be the best thing in my head, it usually led to the end result being absolutely disappointing because I hyped myself too much in my head about what the interaction should have been and how the actor would answer the questions. What's the biggest lesson for me is to let go of ego. This isn't about you. Sometimes people are just having bad days. The world doesn't revolve around you. It isn't that deep also. The point where I draw the line, however, and I believe everyone should too, is with 2 points. Your time, if that is respected, and someone meets you with basic empathy. If those parameters are in any way met, then I believe you can still have a banging conversation. I'll go in ascending order of the interactions that enraged me, okay? I have to of course keep it vague because in the era of PR companies and everyone being extremely insistent in taking the legal route on anything being said on the internet, I have to be mindful of the same. I know some journalist friends who watch these videos who envy the fact that I can speak about this because they are bound by the companies they work with and cannot really speak out against bad behavior. But trust me, these stories are a mere sliver of some of the horror stories I have heard. Mind you, some people are nice. This video is not about them. Okay, just before I start though, if I'm alluding to bad behavior showcased by celebrities, I might as well do a quick crash course of people who have been amazing. I swear I'll get to the juicy stuff immediately. Harshvardhan Rane and Raghav Joyal are the sweetest people you will ever meet. Kind, curious, and, well, actively listening to the questions. Barun Sopti wears his heart on his sleeve, so he will tell you if you asked a dumb question or if something really annoys him. And I think that is extremely refreshing. The best part is that if he identifies that you actually have some depth in your questions, it just flows beautifully for the purpose of a conversation. Kangna Ranaut, the 2 times I've interacted with her, has been extremely professional. I've never done an interview with her in the flesh, but I remember most of my conversations with her were when, well, nobody liked her on the internet and she was getting blasted for her rage-filled takes, and you can often get swayed by the noise, assuming that to be someone's entire personality. My interaction, contrary to the noise, made me feel like she was really sweet, bright when it comes to the craft, and I found the conversations with her, well, refreshingly not pretentious. I think the only time I have been intimidated before an interaction was when I met Nasruddin Shah. Again, an absolutely beautiful conversation with a man who just is an institution when it comes to the craft. The best, hands down, has to be my experience of interacting with John Abraham. The man came in his chappals and tracks without any entourage, chilled with the team at Shashwat Sachdev's apartment prior to the release of Attack, and was funny, insightful, self-deprecating, and so realistic with his own position and perception in the film industry. I remember when the interview ended, he told me that he's gonna kill it in Pathan. Now that is some kind of foresight. I think that experience still is top tier for me. Another actor who actively tries to learn about the host prior to the interaction. Let's get to the juicy parts. The interactions that have actually made me cut down the interviews with celebrities significantly on this channel. Sometimes it's just not worth it. Cancellations are absolutely something that you need to get used to. It's something that will break your heart, but a lot of the teams promoting the titles and the actors associated are not, well, considerate of your time, especially of the hours you have spent dedicated to formulating the interview. They couldn't care less of how prepared you are. So there have been 2 occasions where I have fully prepared these 30-minute discussions, well, because that's the amount the PR companies used to permit me, and the day of the interview in one case, I was given a call that the actress is not feeling well. So the request was, can the interaction only happen with the director? The actress was interacting with mainstream media in the evening. So maybe she just did some fast-track medicinal treatment, but all the prep went to waste. The other cancellation that happened was a day prior to the interview because of scheduling conflicts, but I remember it was because of this experience that I became a big advocate for Nazar. I had prior to the interaction announced that this will be my biggest interview on IG stories, and boom, within a few hours it was cancelled. I had prepared like a workhorse for it, but I realized that these teams owe you their word, and if they cancel and have some morals, you should not work with them again. I haven't done an interview with the streaming platform since then because it was pretty clear that they had a roster of preferences and cancelled what they assumed was not important. That. You also have to realize that the interviews essentially take up your entire day. If that can be traded with creating a fun or insightful video for you to watch, I would rather serve that purpose. I would prefer the interaction with all of you versus sitting in a waiting room for some godforsaken hotel for a 30-minute mid-conversation. There was one time that I will never forget. My cameraman Rahul really bonded over the trauma of that experience, where we were told that this director would love to have an interaction at his home. Many times the titles do not have a significant marketing budget, so they request you if you can get your own camera and crew. The time stipulated for us with the director was 10 a.m. and we landed up at his apartment with the crew and all the gear, and we were not given access to his building. We literally sat at the reception near the lift waiting to get the green light, and we were getting no responses. The head of the PR company had landed up and was incessantly, or pretending to, incessantly call the director but was getting no answer. The co-producer of the movie title apparently gave him a call, the time when he presumably picked up, and said that he's not feeling well. Khabris told me that the dude apparently had a heavy night of drinking the night before and just was not down. The dude refused to open the door and I had to send an entire crew ready with all of their equipment. Of course, having to pay them for the time wasted. I know many people send bills to PR companies if the shoot gets cancelled. Technically everyone should, but I just feel like morally icky about it, and I think about karma and all this BS. I know I may be coming across being too in my head about these things, but my funda is that do right within your capacity. And if someone wrongs you, smile at them and move on. The world will work its magic to do right. With gaining some kind of traction on social media, they also want to hover over your perspective. So I remember this one actor who is often criticized for being limited in range was doing a role where people could see another side. What's absolutely hilarious about this experience is that PR companies believe that they are doing you a favor if they are giving you an opportunity to get a preview screening. So the screening finished and the actor was standing outside the hall trying to get feedback in real time from journalists who will be publishing their review the next day. Journalists, most of whom have absolutely zero qualms of doing paid reviews or just something kind because of the hospitality of a samosa and a coke, were taking selfies with the actor. The conflict of interest was so jarring that they are objectively praising the movie and the performance of the actor while taking the selfie with them. The PR company literally held my hand and said, "Intro karwa doon," like I was pining and yearning for this all my life. I ended up meeting the dude. He asked me how the movie was. I said he was good. He again asked me how the movie was. I said you were good, and I booked it. The PR company called me for a quote. A one-liner. You know, the offer of being a part of the esteemed panel of absolute nobodies who take pride in being on movie posters with pointless stars. अरे अनमोल बोलो ना, one-liner डालेंगे आपका पोस्टर में. That's the pitch. The experience of such hovering like an exam hall invigilator is the reason why I stopped going for preview screenings too. It's a nightmare. It's good for posting your review on time, but not for your mental health. I love people when they come on time, by the way. The likes of Alia and Kareena were bang on time, smooth interactions, and boom, you're done with the interview. I love celebrities who are mindful of one's time. There is one senior actor who I have interacted with multiple times who is always on time, sometimes reaches way before the stipulated time, just to chill around. And what's quite crazy was that the younger lot of celebrities would stroll aram se, sometimes way later than the scheduled time. And this senior actor just patiently waits. No fuss, nothing. What was the most shocking experience for me, however, was when I was doing a digital interview with the movie team. The director of the movie for an interview for a bloody interview for his movie title was in a moving car. A scheduled interaction, the dude deemed it fit that this interaction can fly while moving through terrible service in Mumbai traffic with the constant noise of traffic around. I genuinely introspected and wonder, am I a doormat that someone feels it fit to do this? A wild experience indeed. Another time which I will never forget, it's etched in my memory, and the only reason why I went through with it is because I respected the actor, was when the production company requested me to book the location and crew for the interaction. This is a very normal demand. If you are really desperate for an interaction with an actor, you are willing to bear the cost of the location and the crew. I booked a studio which had a stipulation of it being booked for a minimum of 6 hours. If you want to book that space, it has to be for 6 hours minimum. So I think I had an afternoon slot for like 2 p.m. So I booked it from 2 to 8 or something like that. And the time given to me by the actor was that he should be here by 2 p.m. 2 p.m. The time got delayed because sir was in traffic presumably. Then it changed to sir will have lunch income. Then it changed to sir is just coming. The man, I swear to God, was in traffic for 4 hours. The man for a 2 p.m. call time came at 6 p.m. I was found literally walking around the studio, contemplating all my choices and the amount of time I have just wasted. The wait was not the only thing that was genuinely irritating. The production company that wanted to do the interaction requested me if another crew from a news channel can use the premises and time slot available before the booking finishes. They, the production company, requested me, who booked the studio, that if another crew from a news channel who doesn't have the budget for a space can leech off of my booking. I took a deep breath. I just let it happen. Fine. Let them shoot. The production company since then has, well, been sweet like sycophants, but the switch only happened because of the guilt versus basic human decency.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you
We don't care.
There was a period in my life post the pandemic where I was doing a back and forth between Delhi and Mumbai. For with the lockdown, I let go of my previous apartment, and there was a period in which I had not finalized where I want to essentially move long term. So when interactions would get finalized, I would fly to Mumbai to of course do a bunch of meetings here and there, but mainly come for the interview. I landed in the morning for an interaction that was scheduled for 11 a.m. with the cast associated with the movie title. It had become 1:30, and when such a delay with talent happens, the PR company starts stressing because the journalists get restless. So what is the manner in which they can be amused or their attention be diverted? Think about it. Think about it. Samosa, samosa. Exactly. Give them a kadak samosa and a cold sandwich and they'll shut the hell up. So the assumption is that the celebrity is just late, right? I get called outside by the PR team and they tell me that the main actor, who's actually the crowd puller for this video to get any views, has a sore throat. The actor puts on possibly his best performance of a sore throat. अनमोल आपकी videos और analysis का बहुत बड़ा fan हूँ मैं, लेकिन आज हालत खराब है. I just listened, nodded and was respectful and waltzed out of the premises while the PR team wanted to do the interaction with just the director. Some people, I believe, are just not in the mood to do the interaction. I found the whole sore throat performance to be quite a gimmick.
Do that sick voice again? Geez, I can't come to work today. I think I got strep throat.
The worst experience, hands down, has to be an interview that has never aired. I may have briefly touched upon this, but I was hosting a panel. There were a few directors and actors on this panel, and the discussion ranged from the titles that they were promoting, the experiences that were happening in the industry, and just an overall discussion on the evolution of film funding and ideation. Everything was going smoothly, but one director's internet connection was extremely poor. So her answers kept on getting the static response. We kept on saying that the answers are not audible and clear, but this one actor was the one who was the most passionate about calling it out. Nah, we can't hear you. Nada, nothing. A little too zealous for his own good. While this panel was happening, the two actors in the panel were in a conference room in a hotel because they were promoting some show together. While the interaction was taking place, this chap was getting up, twirling around the conference room and picked up a glass of wine. He was chilling, but I could sense the ideas brewing in his head to cause friction. I wanted to know what is the perspective of actors on the panel on casting decisions being dictated by followers on social media. Is it a reality in the industry and is it becoming normalized? One of the actresses spoke about her experience and actually going through this, where others were being considered due to higher follower counts versus being ideal for the role. When this same whirling chap got to the answer, he probably in his inner monologue was having, this is my opportunity to just spice things up. He immediately turned on me. What kind of question is this? You consider yourself to be credible? There is no artistic merit to such questions. Ask about my characters, my process. What is this social media BS? I replied by saying that a part of the discussion is also to consider experiences of actors on what is happening in real time with auditions and offers. He still protested, yeah, people do consider follower counts, but a person who credits himself for asking questions with artistic depth, why aren't you asking questions with more nuance from your guests? This is such a lost opportunity, Anmol. I said that if he doesn't want to answer the question, that's fine, but I thought it was relevant. He said that he had better expectations from me. The panel was awkwardly doing side eyes and just wondering where they got stuck. I wanted to move on because I said otherwise we'll keep on talking in circles. He did a condescending grin. I carried on having the discussion in the panel and the dude just logged off. Left the conversation. I was told to be kind and apologize to the dude, but he has a tendency to do such things when people resist and act smart. The same way he does, he tends to get pissed off about it. One of the actors on the panel is one of my favorite people, by the way, and she sent me a message saying that was awkward and it was probably the worst experience with an actor I've had. Several journalists complain about his antics, by the way.
No way we can get rid of him?
Not without cause, Michael.
I have cause. It is because I hate him.
So I guess that was that. Be ready for the unpredictable and wild. Keep your rosy expectations in check and genuinely be prepared for the worst. You never know which side of the bed these celebrities wake up on the day of your interview. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below whether you have some video ideas for our channel. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle is right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.